Welcome to my channel. If you're into coin collecting, rare currency, or just curious about what your old change could really be worth, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of US half-dollar coins, from the classic 1964 silver Kennedy half-dollars to rare mint errors and low-mintage varieties that could be hiding in your pocket right now. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Whether you're new to numismatics or a long-time collector, stick around. This could be the video that helps you discover a hidden treasure in your own collection. First up, the 1971 half-dollar coin from United States. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is part of American coinage history. It features the portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the front side, or obverse, created by Gilroy Roberts. On the reverse side is the U.S. presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro. The Kennedy half-dollar series started in 1964 as a tribute to JFK after his assassination. But in 1971, something very significant happened. This was the first year the mint completely removed silver from the half-dollar. Earlier half-dollars minted between 1965 and 1970 contained 40% silver, while those in 1964 were made of 90% silver. In 1971, the composition shifted to a copper-nickel-clad planchet, consisting of an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. That change marked the end of an era, and the beginning of countless new discoveries for collectors. Now, let's dive into the details that matter. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from the Denver mint bear a small D on the front of the coin, just below Kennedy's bust, while those minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. Even though these coins were mass-produced, over 350 million were minted, certain examples stand out due to unique errors or unusual metal composition. That's where things get interesting. One of the most valuable types of the 1971 half-dollar is a rare error where the coin was mistakenly struck on a leftover 40% silver planchet. That's right, while 1971 coins were supposed to be copper-nickel, a few were accidentally struck on silver blanks. These error coins are extremely rare, but they exist and can be worth thousands of dollars. They're usually heavier than regular copper-nickel coins, and some even have a distinct ring or tone when tapped. You can test this by checking the edge. Normally, a 1971 half-dollar will show a clear copper stripe along the edge. But if you come across one with a solid silver-looking edge and a slightly heavier feel, you might be holding one of the few silver transitional errors from 1971. Another category of valuable 1971 half-dollars includes error coins. These can take many forms. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and double dies are among the most sought after. An off-center strike happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in part of the design being missing. These types of errors are easy to spot with the naked eye and are usually worth far more than face value. Double die errors are another exciting variety to look for. These occur when the coin die shifts slightly between strikes, leading to a doubling of the design elements, such as the date, lettering, or Kennedy's profile. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust" or the date 1971 for signs of this doubling effect. Let's not forget about rotated dies, another error that adds value. In this case, if you flip the coin over from top to bottom and the reverse design is rotated out of alignment, you may have a rare piece on your hands. Clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an incomplete blank, are also something to watch for. These errors are visible right away and can significantly raise the coin's desirability. Now let's talk about condition. While most 1971 Kennedy half-dollars you'll find in circulation are worn, some remain in excellent shape. Coins with sharp details, full luster, and no wear on Kennedy's hair or the eagle on the back are naturally more appealing to collectors. Keeping coins safe from scratches, tarnish, and handling helps preserve their value over time. While most circulated 1971 Kennedy half-dollars are only worth 50 cents, those in pristine condition or with unique characteristics can command higher prices. Even minor errors or unusual appearances can increase a coin's desirability. That's why it's always important to examine coins carefully under good lighting and magnification. Don't overlook the sound of the coin either. Tapping a silver-based coin and a copper-nickel coin on a hard surface produces noticeably different tones. Silver coins have a higher pitched ring, while copper-nickel coins sound duller. This isn't foolproof, but it's a quick trick that can alert you to something unusual. Another great way to search for rare coins like these is through coin roll hunting. Visit your local bank and ask for rolls of half-dollars. Search through them one by one. You never know what you'll find. Many people have discovered silver coins, rare errors, and unique varieties tucked away in these rolls. It's like a treasure hunt and an affordable way to build a coin collection. Many collectors also enjoy swapping or trading coins online or at coin shows, especially if they find duplicates or pieces with interesting flaws. You can often learn more about the history and minting process of the 1971 Kennedy half dollar by engaging with other collectors and sharing knowledge. Even coins that aren't high in monetary value can be priceless for hobbyists who enjoy the thrill of the hunt and the stories behind each coin. Every scratch and detail tells a part of American history, from the change in metal composition to the technical evolution of the minting process. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar reminds us that sometimes, even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold extraordinary stories. Whether it's a rare silver strike, a dramatic off-center error, or just a beautifully preserved piece of history, the Kennedy half dollar has earned its place in numismatic lore. Next up, the 1972 half dollar coin from United States. Now, let's focus specifically on the 1972 Kennedy half dollar. This coin was struck in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If you have a 1972 Kennedy half dollar in your possession, the first thing you want to do is check for a mint mark. On coins struck in Denver, you'll find a small D on the obverse, just below Kennedy's neck truncation. San Francisco minted coins have an S mint mark and were primarily issued as proofs for collectors. Philadelphia coins from this year bear no mint mark at all. So what makes these coins interesting? Although the 1972 Kennedy half dollar was produced in high quantities, over 150 million coins combined across all mints, some coins are far more valuable than others. This value is often tied to mint errors, low mintage varieties, and collector demand. Let's talk about mintage numbers briefly. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 153 million Kennedy half dollars in 1972. The Denver Mint added another 141 million, and the San Francisco Mint produced around 3.2 million proof coins. Even though those numbers seem huge, the value of these coins depends heavily on condition, rarity, and the presence of any special characteristics like die errors. One major thing to look for in your 1972 Kennedy half dollar is mint errors. Mint errors are factory mistakes that happen during the coin-making process. Some of the most valuable and sought-after 1972 errors include off-center strikes, double dies, clip planches, and struck-through errors. One especially rare and valuable error is the 1972 half dollar double die obverse, where Kennedy's profile and inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" show doubling when viewed under magnification. Another known error is the no FG error. On the reverse of the Kennedy half dollar, just below the eagle's left leg, you'll typically see the designer Frank Gasparo's initials, FG. However, on some 1972 D half dollars, these initials are completely missing due to excessive polishing of the die. This no FG variety is highly sought after and can sell for much more than face value. If you find a 1972 D Kennedy half dollar with no FG initials, you might have a real treasure on your hands. So, how much are 1972 Kennedy half dollars worth today? In circulated condition, most 1972 half dollars have minimal value above their face value, usually between 50 cents to $2, depending on condition. But coins in uncirculated condition or those with rare mint errors can be worth $20, $50, $100, or even more, depending on rarity and demand. For example, a high-quality 1972 D no FG error half dollar has sold for hundreds of dollars at coin auctions. The proof coins from San Francisco are also of interest. These were specially made for collectors and never intended for general circulation. They feature a mirror-like surface and frosted details. A 1972 S Kennedy half dollar in proof condition typically sells for $3 to $10, but cameo or deep cameo examples, where the frosted design contrasts sharply with the mirror-like background, can sell for significantly more. Let's not forget about coin roll hunting. If you're someone who enjoys going through rolls of half dollars from the bank, keep your eyes peeled for 1972 Kennedy half dollars, especially those from Denver and Philadelphia. While silver is no longer part of these coins, you can still find valuable examples based on condition and rare errors. For coin collectors, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar marks an important point in U.S. coinage history. It was the second year the coin was struck without any silver content, and the U.S. Mint was still adapting to the copper-nickel clad composition. That means quality control wasn't perfect, and a lot of small striking issues and planchette problems make this coin very interesting to study. Some coins may also show weak strikes, especially around the lettering and portrait detail, making them collectible to error specialists. Let's explore how you can identify potential value in your 1972 Kennedy half dollar. First, inspect the coin under strong lighting and, if possible, magnification. Look closely at the details of Kennedy's hair, the Liberty inscription, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Weak details may point to a worn die or a strike-through error. If you notice doubling in the text or unusual lines or textures, you could be looking at a valuable mint error. Also, pay attention to coin toning. Some collectors pay a premium for coins with attractive rainbow toning or deep golden hues. While toning doesn't always increase a coin's value, attractive natural toning on a 1972 Kennedy half dollar can sometimes bring higher offers from collectors. Storage is also important if you're collecting these coins. Keep them in a cool, dry place and store them in acid-free holders or albums. Avoid cleaning them, as that can lower their value and damage the surface permanently. One interesting note: although the Kennedy half dollar is still produced today, it has not seen regular circulation use in decades. Banks often don't carry them, and most people rarely encounter them. That makes older dates like 1972 even more appealing to modern collectors, especially those interested in 1970s-era coins. The Kennedy half dollar remains one of the most iconic US coins, and the 1972 edition is no exception. It bridges the gap between the silver era and the fully clad era, contains a wide range of collectible varieties, and offers plenty of opportunities for both beginner and experienced collectors to find something exciting. So whether you're searching through pocket change, hunting through coin rolls, or sorting through an inherited collection, don't overlook the 1972 Kennedy half dollar. Look for mint marks, examine the details, watch for errors, and you just might uncover a hidden gem that could be worth much more than 50 cents. Let's begin with a brief overview of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar. The coin was part of the regular circulation coinage of the United States, featuring the portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse. This design has remained largely unchanged since 1964, when the half dollar was first issued in memory of Kennedy following his assassination. Designed by Gilroy Roberts, the obverse showcases a left-facing profile of JFK with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1983 beneath the bust. Now moving to the reverse, the design by Frank Gasparo displays the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. Encircling the eagle are 50 stars, representing the 50 states of the Union. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "half dollar" complete the coin's patriotic theme. So, what makes the 1983 half dollar interesting to collectors and historians alike? First and foremost, it's important to understand the context of US coin production in 1983. The US Mint had stopped producing 40% silver half dollars for circulation back in 1970. Starting in 1971, all Kennedy half dollars were made from a copper-nickel clad composition. By 1983, the coin was struck in this standard clad composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. The diameter of the coin remains at 30.6 millimeters, with a weight of 11.34 grams. Despite not being made of silver, the 1983 half dollar still has notable interest among collectors due to a few key factors. One of the most important is the condition and strike quality. In the early 1980s, many US coins were not struck with exceptional care, and collecting high-quality examples from this era can be a challenge. That makes well-preserved 1983 half dollars quite appealing. The 1983 half dollar was struck at two US Mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver, with the Philadelphia Mint producing coins without a mint mark and Denver using a D mint mark. It's important to check the obverse of the coin just below Kennedy's neck for the presence of this mint mark. There were no 1983's proof coins made for general circulation since proof sets were suspended in 1982 and resumed only in 1984. That makes the 1983 year unique. There are no official proof coins for this date, increasing interest in high-quality business strikes. Another intriguing aspect of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar is the role of mint sets and souvenir sets. The US Mint did not sell traditional mint sets in 1982 and 1983. Instead, collectors could only acquire coins in the annual souvenir sets available at mint gift shops. As a result, many of the finest examples of 1983 half dollars came from these souvenir sets. Since fewer of these were produced compared to regular mint sets, locating pristine, uncirculated examples from 1983 is more difficult and valuable. Collectors often seek 1983 half dollars in top condition, especially those with strong strikes, full details, and brilliant luster. While circulated examples are common and typically worth only face value, uncirculated pieces can command a premium, especially if they show clean surfaces and minimal wear. Some exceptional examples from souvenir sets or saved from original bankrolls may be worth several dollars, sometimes more depending on condition and market demand. Now, let's talk about error coins and varieties, one of the most exciting parts of any coin story. Error coins occur due to mishaps in the minting process and can make ordinary coins incredibly valuable. For the 1983 half-dollar, collectors have identified a few known errors and varieties. Among them are off-center strikes, double dies, and clash dies. Double die errors can occur on either the obverse or reverse, where the design elements appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process. If you ever find a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with strong doubling in the lettering, numbers, or design details, it could be a rare and valuable find. Off-center strikes are another interesting variety. These occur when the coin blank is not properly centered under the dies. Depending on how much of the design is missing and how well the date remains visible, these errors can fetch a much higher value. Die clashes, when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, can also result in ghostly images appearing where they don't belong. Though less common, these make for fascinating collector pieces and always draw attention. So, what should you look for when examining your own 1983 Kennedy half-dollars? Start by checking the mint mark to see if it's from Philadelphia or Denver. Then inspect the overall condition of the coin. Sharp details, no heavy wear, and original luster are key. Look for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings that could indicate an error. Pay close attention to the lettering, Kennedy's profile, and the eagle on the reverse. These are the areas where doubling and die cracks often occur. Even without silver content, 1983 half-dollars are part of the legacy of the Kennedy coin series. The absence of mint sets in 1983, the challenge of finding top-quality examples, and the hunt for rare errors all make this coin worth collecting. Now let's explore how these coins perform in the collector market. Circulated 1983 half-dollars are still found in pocket change or in bankrolls and usually carry little to no premium. But when it comes to uncirculated coins, particularly those from souvenir sets or specially preserved, values can range from a few dollars to over $20 for high-end examples. Error coins, of course, can bring in much higher prices depending on rarity, type, and demand. A strong double die or significant off-center strike can command a serious premium among collectors. It's also worth noting that the Kennedy half-dollar has a devoted following. Collectors who build complete date and mint mark sets of the series always need a 1983p and 1983d coin in excellent condition to complete their collection. That constant demand ensures that the 1983 half-dollar maintains a respectable spot in the market. Let's wrap up with a fun fact. Many collectors and dealers consider the early 1980s as a transitional era for US coinage. With changing policies, no proof sets for 2 years, and reduced production quality, coins from 1982 and 1983 offer a unique challenge. This makes the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar not only a coin of historical interest but also one of strategic importance for completing modern US coin collections. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a beginner starting your collection, or someone who just found a 1983 half-dollar in your coin jar, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking coin could be a hidden gem, a piece of American history with value that goes beyond its face. Next up, 2023 half-dollar coin from United States. The Kennedy half-dollar has long held a special place in American numismatics. First introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963, the half-dollar quickly became both a circulating coin and a collector's item. Fast forward to 2023, and this iconic coin continues to capture the attention of coin enthusiasts across the nation and around the world. Now, let's talk about the 2023 Kennedy half-dollar coin in particular. First of all, it was struck at 2 major US mint locations, the Denver Mint and the Philadelphia Mint. That means you'll find 2 standard varieties, the 2023D and the 2023P Kennedy half-dollars. Each of these coins carries its own mint mark, a D for Denver and a P for Philadelphia, located just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse of the coin. The design of the 2023 Kennedy half-dollar remains faithful to the classic. On the obverse, we see the left-facing profile of President John F. Kennedy, originally sculpted by Gilroy Roberts. The inscriptions include Liberty around the top, the year 2023 at the bottom, and In God We Trust to the left. On the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, is the presidential seal, an eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, with a ring of stars encircling the image. The inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar appear prominently. One thing to note about the 2023 Kennedy half-dollar is that it is not widely used in daily commerce. In fact, the general public rarely sees half-dollar coins in circulation anymore. Instead, most of the 2023 half-dollars were produced specifically for coin collectors and hobbyists. This includes both regular uncirculated strikes and special collector sets. The The composition of the 2023 Kennedy half dollar is a copper-nickel clad. It weighs approximately 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.61 millimeters. Its reeded edge and high-relief details make it not only a sturdy coin but also a visually appealing one. Unlike the silver issues of the 1960s, modern half dollars, including those minted in 2023, no longer contain silver unless they are special proof or silver sets. Speaking of special issues, the US Mint also released 2023 Kennedy half dollars as part of various annual collector sets, including uncirculated coin sets and proof sets. The proof coins, typically struck at the San Francisco Mint, feature mirror-like finishes with frosted design elements. If you've ever held a proof coin, you know how strikingly beautiful they can be compared to regular business strikes. Another exciting aspect of collecting the 2023 Kennedy half dollar is the possibility of discovering errors or varieties. Error coins always attract attention, and even minor mistakes can significantly increase a coin's value. While no widespread major errors have been confirmed in the 2023 half dollar issue, some collectors have reported minor die clashes, double dies, and off-center strikes. Always inspect your coins closely or use a magnifying lens to search for any of these anomalies. Some of the most valuable finds come from unassuming coins that turn out to be rare variants. Let's talk a bit about value. The face value of a 2023 Kennedy half dollar is, of course, 50 cents. But its real worth in the collector market can vary. A standard 2023 half dollar from circulation, without any error or premium condition, generally holds a value close to its face, perhaps slightly more to the right buyer. However, uncirculated and proof examples, especially those in pristine condition or from mint sets, can fetch a few dollars each. Over time, high-grade examples, particularly MS67 or higher, can command even higher prices. And of course, any error coin, if authenticated and rare, can be worth significantly more. Now let's consider the historical and symbolic significance of the Kennedy half dollar, and why even the 2023 issue holds meaning. This coin was minted in memory of a president who symbolized youth, progress, and vision for the American people. Collecting the 2023 half dollar is not just about its monetary value, it's about preserving a piece of modern American history. Each coin represents a link to an era of profound national transformation, and each year of minting, including 2023, adds another chapter to that legacy. When it comes to collecting strategies, many collectors aim to complete a full Kennedy half dollar collection from 1964 through the current year. Adding the 2023 version ensures your collection remains up to date. Some collectors even build sets based on mint marks or condition levels, such as obtaining both the 2023P and 2023D versions in MS condition or including the 2023S proof if available. It's also worth noting that the mintage numbers for 2023 Kennedy half dollars are relatively low compared to coins from earlier decades. As demand for circulating half dollars has declined, the US Mint now produces them in lower quantities, primarily to satisfy collector demand. This lower mintage could enhance the coin's future value potential, especially if fewer specimens remain in perfect condition over time. To store your 2023 half dollars properly and protect their condition, always use coin capsules, holders, or albums. Keeping them in a dry, temperature-stable environment away from direct sunlight or humidity will ensure they retain their original luster. Even small environmental changes can cause toning or corrosion over time, so storage is critical if you're collecting for the long haul. Now, let's address a few questions collectors often ask. Is the 2023 half dollar rare? Not in a general sense, but some limited issues or specific conditions might be harder to come by. Are there silver versions of the 2023 half dollar? Not in standard circulation, but certain collector sets may include silver-proof issues, especially if they are part of the Mint special offerings. Is it worth saving 2023 half dollars? Absolutely, especially if you're a collector or if you find unique minting characteristics. Coin collecting is a hobby that combines history, art, economics, and passion. The 2023 Kennedy half dollar might not be a $1 million rarity today, but it offers an affordable, accessible entry into the fascinating world of numismatics. Every coin has a story, and the 2023 half dollar tells one of continuity, legacy, and enduring respect for a beloved US president. Before we wrap up, let me encourage you to always examine your pocket change, look into US Mint releases, and consider subscribing to coin-related publications or websites. Joining collector communities online can also help you stay updated on market trends, possible discoveries, and release announcements for upcoming coin issues.